all items are presented for discussion and or possible action.
All right. On this particular item, I think the 15 days probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference one way or the other. I will not support it. I think that it's window dressing. I think you give another 30 days, people can really get into it. I don't know that we're going to accomplish very much by, and I think it's rather a disservice to the public when the public tells you they want. I don't hear people publicly saying they need to have their projects hurried up. I have not heard that. So if you're hearing it privately, that's one thing, but when you hear it publicly, I'm hearing people publicly saying they need more time. 15 days is not more time, and I haven't heard anything except the length of a pregnancy or the time of between the time of delivery, variation, etc. But I haven't heard any logical argument except I want to stick to a timetable that hasn't been laid out as problematic. Ms. Glassy's not presented one here, and I think really it does not show proper response to public hearing here in this particular setting. So I would say here, if you feel that 15 days is responsive, that's up to you, but I consider that to be insensitive to what has been presented here today.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Smith, comment?
Yes, thank you. I believe in our reading file, and I'm sure the clerk has both reading files, we received two. I believe there were at least 50 letters, if not 60 letters, all requesting, as I recall, the extension of comment. And the two dates I got were the January 15th or February 09. So I think Supervisor Colfax's comments are to the point. I think that this is a reasonable accommodation to ask for the 30 days. I believe the top letter in one of the files, and I don't remember the date on it, was from the Mendocino County Farm Bureau asking for an extension. So there were entities there, and there were individual citizens in the reading file that were asking for this extension, and the dates I recall are January 15th and February 09. So I think we should at least support a 30-day extension. That takes us to early December. Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, if I may.
You may.
This is the sort of thing that gets us a reputation for being divided and argumentative. 15 days, 14 days difference. Does it make a bit of difference? I wouldn't have suggested 30 days if I thought it was something we would cut in half just to make our point. And in that regard here, I really find this just, I think the word here, and excuse me, is really, no, I'm not going to use the word. I just think it's inappropriate. And I feel here that if I'd said 3 months, would it be 6 weeks? And if I said 6 weeks, would it have been 3 weeks? Yeah, it would, because we have to make our points, I guess, against each other. And I hope that we can get along better than this and waste time on more important things than 15 days public comment increase.
Thanks, Supervisor. Ms. Glassy, did you have
I was just going to say that you've mentioned several times a reading file, and the planning team doesn't appear to have been copied on those that they seem to be aware of. So we're not aware of the extent of the number of comments that have been received. They've received certainly a few letters, but nothing on that order. So I just wanted to let you know that. We can certainly look at that. I also want to be clear that I don't anticipate increased costs as a result of a 30-day extension, 15-day extension, or anything else like that. I think the costs, we were very careful to kind of lock them in and to make sure that we were covering what we could. So I want to be clear about that. And staff did indicate that they are already starting to respond to comments because they've now been receiving them for the past month. And I also wanted to say that November 3rd just happened to be 45 days from whenever the state clearinghouse got it. That's why that date was picked. So I want to be really clear that there wasn't any other reason for that date except for when 45 days hit.
You're truly not evil then, is that correct?
No,
thank you.
truly not.
Supervisor
Colfax, my motion for the 15 days, number one is to move this along. It's not about making this board divisive. It's about ensuring that we're not going to have another contract addendum to it with the cost associated. That is the point. That is the sole point, strictly economics for me at this point. We heard that from Allison, and she said staff. That doesn't include the consultant, and I'm not sure just this gentleman here has the ability to tell us that it won't affect a contract cost change. Do you have the authority in your company to say that?
The key issue for us regarding costs and preparing a final EIR is the number of comment letters we receive, not necessarily the length of the comment period. Certainly, as the closer we get to the holidays, at the end of the comment period, the more difficult it is for us to get a final EIR done, just because of the realities of staff taking holidays. But in regards to actual cost issues, it's associated with how many comment letters we receive, and we do have a pretty good budget line item for the final EIR.
Okay. All right, any additional comments on the motion? Hearing, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed?
No.
3-2, Supervisor Smith and Koufax dissenting. Let's recess now for dinner, and we'll return at 6:15 p.m. To continue the public hearing.